All right, in the interest of my emotional stability, we're gonna get started. Okay. My name is Jamie Kotewa. I am the art instructor here at Spoon. Every single one of the front row students are mine, and you cannot have them. So there we go. All right, I'm the last chance to get extra credit this semester, so thank you all for coming. Our theme this year is curiosity. What? The idea being that inquiring minds want to learn. So here we go. We have the space in between. The space between. Space in between. I couldn't decide if in between which one was better, so we're going with between, and I'll say in between later. It is a Dave Matthews Band song, which I do like, but I am not Michael Maher, and I do not have the technical skills to set that up. So if you know it, just sing it in your mind. Andrea!
Advanced. It's just because we haven't done anything for a while.
As I was saying, I don't have the technical skills.
But you do have the password key.
Oh, seriously?
That's all we have time.
Who wants a password? Because we did the thing, yeah. Seriously. In that space in between when we were waiting. Okay, the space between. So initially this made me think of two things. One was Oreos, which apparently I've been talking about all week. Who likes regular size Oreos and who prefers double stuff? Double stuff, raise your hand. Y'all put those hands down. There is enough in a regular Oreo. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. So now that we've officially ruffled some feathers, okay, I want to know who undoes the Oreo. I know. Jenna, I'm with you. You like, what? I know. Who undoes the Oreo before you eat it? Okay, you can all sit in the back corner. All right?
Like eat the peanut part.
No, you have to dunk. Dunk with a regular size cream. That's it.
Why didn't you bring some Oreos?
I didn't have that in my budget. Next time. If I knew we could bring snacks, game on.
There are rules?
That's a fair point. I don't know if there are rules. Well, anyway, that's how I prefer my Oreos. Even space in between, and you dunk that sucker. So another space between is like in between a railing, you know, stair railing. So anybody ever been that kid that got your head stuck? Thank you for admitting it. Yeah. My neighbor kid did in our fence, and he like totally put it, and then he couldn't back it out. This was a big deal. We almost took the fence down, but we got him out. Anyway, just two illustrations of the space between. Where I'm going with that is that space between is like insulation. Curiosity is insulation, okay? So follow me with this. In between the supports of the wall, you have insulation, right? It serves a function. The same thing happens with the space between significant points of your life. It's not empty. When there's stuff there, it fills it up, okay? What's in there is space. You have space for creativity. You have space for critical thinking. You have space for observations and questions. You have space for silence. Let's see how long I got 12 minutes to go. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. We have space for exploration, right? When you utilize that space, it helps to provide structure for you, okay? So that means you can't ignore it. I'm sorry. There's really significant research that's been done here on campus that shows that when you have a room with insulation, meaning creativity, creative thought, you have critical thinking, you have space for observations, all of those things happening in that room is 10 times more likely to be filled with imagination. It's more likely to be filled with music and laughter and camaraderie and heat. This is like big deal. It's gonna be published in a newspaper at some point in time. Big deal, big time research. The point being, you need to find a room with insulation. You need to find a room that gives you space. Space to think, space to change your mind, space to explore. You need to find that space. Said in the research, there's research that says you should do that. Curiosity is wonder. I have been blessed with several children that are quite curious. They have taught me that all the ideas need to be considered so that you can rule out the bad ones. There's reasons why you would rule out the bad ones. Don't go to jail if at all possible. Don't get hurt. You know, big things like that, okay? So not all the ideas need action, but you do need to explore and consider, what are these ideas? What are the options out there, right? What is available to me? What are my resources? Explore that, wonder about it, okay? The wonder then turns into magic. Magic creates a spark, and sparks start fires, which we like. We'll get into that in a second. In case you're wondering, my youngest really likes mud and markers. He was very curious about what would happen if he turned giant sections of our yard into mud puddles. He makes a lot of mud. That's what happens. You can, in fact, sled down our hill in the winter, and you can, whether or not there's snow, because it's icy enough that the sled goes down our driveway. So the kids take the sled to the bus. These are things we've discovered. You can also practice basketball with a blindfold on, because it's actually really good. You have to like really pay attention to the ball. Things we learned, right? If we didn't spend the time to wonder about it, we wouldn't know. So take the space. Find the space that's going to allow you to do that. Mud. Okay. Curiosity is intentional. You better schedule that sucker into your life. I was not curious about doing one of these, but I was asked enough that I decided I could schedule it in. And then I can't back out because it's on the calendar, right? So here I am. Also, if I'm preaching to my students to always keep trying, try the thing that makes you uncomfortable, then I better show up today and give this presentation, right? Okay, that's for you guys. But you need to schedule it into your life. You need to schedule time to be curious. Okay. It does not just happen. It might require you to change your viewpoint. You might need to go sit on top of the van and have a moment. Okay? No matter how many times your mama told you to get off that van, get down off the van, you don't need to be on the van. Maybe that is indeed where you need to be. Think about these three statements. You're like, I don't have time to do that. Okay, what do you like? What do you like even more? Turn that into a question. What do you wonder about, right? Am I moving too fast, Sherry? All right, so we're gonna change viewpoints. All right, I need everyone to stand up. Oh, I know, this is interactive. Whose idea was this? Okay, you have to sit in a different row. I know. Change your viewpoint, sit in a different row. Suck it up, Buttercup. You can do this. That's fine. Thank you for being Thank you. Sorry, really not. All right, way to be curious, way to find a different spot, way to find a different viewpoint. sometimes in order to find our our curiosity, I keep trying to smush creativity and curiosity together. In order to find that space where we can be curious, we have to get a different viewpoint. Maybe it's been there all along, but we need to look at it differently, right? It's something that is there. We just need to find it. You may not always know the outcome of what's going to come out of that curiosity time. You may not know. You might not know what you're going to get out of college until 20 years down the road. You might not know what you're really going to get out of that class that you really cannot wait to get over. There could be some golden nugget with that time that's just waiting for you to be curious enough to find it and see it and observe it. You have to wonder about it. I wonder what I could get out of this class. I wonder what I could do with this time. I wonder what if I like this, I wonder about this. Okay? If you don't know, that's okay. We need to rephrase that uncomfortable ambiguity. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know what I want for breakfast. Rephrase that as an opportunity for wonder. Okay? It's an opportunity. It's not an end. It's an opportunity. Okay? So we need to rephrase that. Curiosity is an instigator. This is where that curiosity leads to wonder, wonder leads to a spark, sparks start fires. Did you follow that? There's fire. Okay? It's an instigator. It's gonna poke at you. It's gonna make you uncomfortable. Figure that out. It's trying to be uncomfortable to get your attention. To say, hey, I think I need to wonder about this more. Right? If you are uncomfortable, there could be a very good reason why. Right? This is not a destination. This is a journey. And so in the time of this journey, this space that you have between point A and point B, you need to treat it as such. This is a time to be curious. This is a time to explore. This is a time to dig deeper. Maybe it's figure out what doors you want to shut. Figure out what doors you want to open. But that's where you are right now. You are in that space between. It might be the double stuff Oreo. It might take a little bit longer than others. That's okay. Some of y'all like that double stuff. Way too much. Okay? But that's okay. So enjoy that journey. There was a time not too long ago when I felt like I had lost my time of curiosity. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I was so busy. The kids were really little, so it was like chaos all the time, teaching full time. We were moving halfway across the state. I could not find my spark. And in taking, well, if you know me, you know that I kind of like coffee. And so in drawing, I do, Mary's on it, she really likes coffee, I do. I did this drawing, and the coffee mug, which is no longer with us, it got smashed by a basketball. That coffee mug held a lot of coffee, but it also represented moments, because when I have that mug, I tend to hold it, and I would take a mug, and I would wonder. Like, that was my wonder mug. I'd wander around the classroom, and I'd wonder what's Melody gonna do on this thing there? I'd wonder what color's gonna bring that up? I was noticing that I would take the time to do it. So for me, that's my little reminder of like, hey, Jamie, take the time. Take the time to be curious, take the time to wonder. If it's gonna take a whole pot of coffee, it's gonna take a whole pot of coffee. oh well, there's more. Apparently Holly's giving me free coffee all semester. She's my boss. That's what happens when you put me in charge, right? Okay? Figure out, explore what fills your bucket. It doesn't mean that that has to be your career for the rest of your life, but something that you connect to, right? Something that you're passionate about. So even if it's not your job, you still have that. You still need your spark. Okay, don't lose your spark. If your spark goes out, go find another one. You chase it down. You need that spark. You need that curiosity. I think that's it. Okay. All right. Are there any questions? Yes, Sarah Delpiaz.
Brian's question, but I'll ask it, was the van moved?
The van was not moving. He was also in his pajamas, so it's a good thing he was not moving. I'm not in the back to ask questions. Bridget.
Regular Oreos or flavored Oreos?
Regular, except for the mint Oreo.
There are flavored Oreos in the world?
Flavored Oreos.
Vanilla.
I didn't know that.
But
I wasn't even
hardcore
curious about it. I
regular,
should've been.
like regular.
right now.
What are they?
Yes, Joel.
How did you find your spark?
How did I find my spark? I think I actually found it a little bit through reflection. Because it's hard when you're in the middle of to go like, what do I like? Oh my gosh, somebody wants to know what I like, and it's just a lot. But in reflection, and I hear wonderful things about journaling. I'm a terrible journal person, but I'm a better doodler. So in my doodles, you know what I was drawing all the time? Coffee mugs. Like on everything, I was drawing coffee mugs. And then I had a 40-minute commute at that time, and so I started specifically looking during that drive. I was looking for certain and trying to notice. I tried to be a noticer so that I could notice things that otherwise I would have ignored, which is a part of being curious, right? Like looking for the things that are otherwise not going to be noticed. So there was intentionality there, but also some reflection on like, all right, what is going on? This summer, I felt lost without all of you. Okay. I felt really lost without all of you, and so I decided I was going to start like seeking out new people to have lunch with, because I didn't have the energy of having all these people to meet with and learn about and all that kind of thing. So it took some pushing, and I refound that spark. It's not a constant on. I have to find it every now and then. That was a really long answer.
What is your spark? What is the thing that?
It changes. So right now, it's teaching, and I get a little bit passionate in the classroom, and I so to my core want to see you be successful. I don't care what you're doing, but I want to see a step forward, and I want to see you take that, and I want to see you try it, and I want to see you jump off that cliff and go, okay, she said it's okay, and then you do it, and you're like, okay, it was okay. Cool, now I'm gonna do it again. That's my spark. And I know that when I'm not in the classroom, I have to, so like legit over the summer, like I have to reframe, okay, like what's gonna be my thing during those times. Yes, Mary?
Do you still offer watercolor class in fall or spring?
I do. It's called Aqueous Media, and it will be offered in the spring, and I can't tell you the exact day. It's in the morning, either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. Any of those mornings. Yes.
This coffee mug gets smashed by basketball.
Yes.
My middle son really liked to play basketball, and I was outside with him, and I had my coffee mug, and I set it on a railing, and his ball went from the rim straight over and knocked it onto the cement, and that was the end of that coffee mug. That's how.
Did you find a new one to take its place?
I have several. It's not that one. That one looked like it had been embroidered. It was really cool. But okay, Sydney.
I was just gonna say, did you find it?
Oh. I mean, I have lots of other.
I know,
ones.
but like one that like holds.
It's like that. Yeah.
Emotional support.
It's
document.
close. It's close.
Okay, to undo an Oreo if you don't have to melt the chocolate.
That's fair. I like to have it all. Yeah. I mean, you might undo it, put it back together, then dig. I don't know.
Why don't you both?
Yeah. Or drink the milk and stick the Oreo in, and yeah. Yes.
What are your thoughts on taking apart 2 double stuffed Oreos and then putting together the 2 halves with it?
That's a lot of green.
That's outside of my. That's outside of where I'm gonna go with Oreos. Becky.
Maybe just one last question.
Yes.
I had very many deep and insightful questions that I wanted to ask, but it's already been done. So I was just hoping that maybe you would serenade us out of the presentation with the space in between. One of my favorites.
The space between. I'm just gonna give you that. You're gonna have to look up Dave Matthews Band. All right, thank you all. You should go. Go.